And a very good afternoon from the Thorpe Park Resort. You're watching Adventure Planet, where today I'm back here for their 23rd Fright Nights event. I cannot believe it's this time of the year again already. Really excited for this. Can't wait to head on in, check out the new scare maze that we've got this year, Deadbeat. We've also got some new shows, as well as obviously all that glorious theming and atmosphere that comes along with Fright Nights. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic day. Got here a little bit early. I thought I'd get on Sunrise, check out some of the merch in the island shop first before we actually get started with the mazes a little bit later. They open from about 3 p.m. and then go straight through until park closing, which tonight is 9 o'clock. So we've got some night rides to get on as well, including the absolutely awesome Hyperia. Now, if you want to come down and check out Fright Nights here at Thorpe Park for yourself, prices start in advance online from £36. However, that doesn't actually include your scare mazes. If you want the 4 scare mazes in with that as well, you're looking at £71. And it's £12 to park your car here. Now, if you're a Maulin annual pass holder, you do still have to pay for those scare mazes. You can get 3 of them for £19.20 or 4 of them for £27.20. Alternatively, you can just one-shot the mazes if you wish at £8 a pop, or again, if you're a Maulin annual pass holder, they'll set you back £6.40. Like I say, park hours today, 10 a.m. right the way through until 9 o'clock. Cannot wait to get started. Let's head on in. And as I am here a little bit early then, I thought I'd come into the dome and check out any new pieces of merchandise for Fright Nights this year. There's no actual theming in the dome itself, apart from this pretty cool video playing across the entrance here. Fright Nights, the home of fear. Sponsored by Fanta, of course, this year. And the event runs from now on selected dates through until the 3rd of November. Let's take a quick look in the island shop then. I've spotted this from outside. This looks absolutely awesome. Look at this, a Stitches hoodie. That is absolutely great. HTE on the back there, Howell's Toy Emporium. You've got it on the sleeve down here as well. Yeah, that looks really nice actually. And the hoodie on there, it's even got some ears on it. Look at that. Yeah, I'm not quite sure it's something that I would wear, but yeah, there we are. £70 as well. Yeah, it's quite expensive. But yeah, I do like that. The detailing is very cool. You've got the stitches on the arm here. And look at that, there's even gloves at the bottom. That's fantastic. Just on one of the arms, it's like you're an actual teddy bear. That's great. You got the scarves here and the mugs that we've seen every year, the Fright Nights cap. We got the t-shirt here with Hyperia on there, and you've got all the scare mazes and the scare zones as well. £8 for your pin badges. That's really nice. Chainsaw on there with the 2024. That's pretty cool. Deadbeat's on there, obviously. The new maze for this year. Stitches. That's great. And I'm assuming that's the front of that t-shirt. Yeah, there we are. £28 for that one. And then you've also got the hoodie version here as well for £50. The same on the back there. Yeah, you've got the Fright Night gloves there, the chainsaws are back. That's absolutely brilliant though, love that. There, looks like you've got some more generic pieces here as well. Resting witch face, there we are. Here for the booze, with the ghosts on. These are £24 each, by the looks of it. And too old for this sheet. Nothing on the backs of these. And then we've got the Fright Nights t-shirt here as well. £28, the home of fear, which was here last year. Yeah, like I say, you got the chainsaws there as well. Some pretty good bits of merch this year, but the highlight is definitely this. Absolutely love it. £70, a little bit expensive, but it is really cool. And just a quick look then at those new pieces of merchandise for Fright Nights 2024 as I've made my way down into the Lost City section of the park then. Quantum over the back, currently with a 10-minute queue time. Great little flat ride that, really do enjoy a ride on Quantum. And we've got Vortex just off to the left, which is actually open. Hey! I mean, it wasn't when I came here for my last visit. KMG Afterburner, do you know what? I'm going to make that my first ride of the day. It's just gone 1:30. So we've still got a little while until the maze is open. Current queue time for this, 20 minutes. And then I'll be heading on over to the newest scare maze for this year, Deadbeat. And just through the back there, hey, there it goes. It's Zodiac. Yeah, all the rides in the Lost City working. You got Rush just over the back as well. Colossus is also running. And like I say, I'll jump on this. And yeah, I'm going to do the scare mazes from 3 p.m. as soon as they open, because they're basically all enclosed, so it doesn't really make any difference whether you do it in the day or at night. I figured if I can kind of get them all done in the day, then when the sun goes down, I can really kind of soak up and appreciate that atmosphere of all the lighting and the shows and the other bits of theming around the park. KMG Afterburner, Vortex, let's get on. Oh, what a great way to start the day with a ride on Vortex then. Just over opposite now then at Donuts and Coffee. And yeah, take a look at some of these. These look absolutely amazing. Priced from around £4 right up to £5.25. Strawberry Larson there, Robert Denorio. Got Bruno Mars down there. They look absolutely delicious. Quite fancy a donut and a coffee actually. Got the OG down there. David Hasselhoff, got the Lotus Biscuit. Absolutely glorious. Look at that. And I've made my way over to Stitches then. I just had to take a look at the theming around here. Absolutely love it. It's great to see the marquee back in place with all the theming around. You can get right up close to it at the moment, just as they're putting in the queue line now. But yeah, look at that. It looks great. The facade on this, Howl's Toy Emporium, back for its second year in the park. And it was by far and away my favorite scare maze of last year, so really looking forward to getting back in here a little bit later on. But look what we also got here. We got the Toy Box Tavern here. It's where you get all your alcoholic beverages. Here we are, your drafts, your white wines, red wines, rosé, spirits and soft drinks down here. Yeah, for your beers you're looking at $7 to $7.50 for a pint, or $3.50 to $3.75 for half a pint as well. Oh, so excited for Stitches a little bit later on. It's going to be great. We've also got this here as well. Yeah, you got your hot chocolate and brownies. There we are. All looks really nice. Devilish hot chocolate there for £4.50. Lucifer's hot chocolate as well. And then your brownies are £4.50 each. And there's all your selection there. Lotus Biscoff, Kinder Bueno. Oh, it sounds absolutely delicious. Oh, we'll be back later, Stitches. Like I say, I want to get the new maze done first. But I think we'll head on over to Stitches second. Really excited to get back into Howl's Toy Emporium. Oh, and right opposite Howl's Toy Emporium, look what's still here. Authentic bratwurst. Hey, there we are. £9 for your bratwurst and your Krakauer chili beef and cheese for £1.50. Oh, it's great to still see this here. That's lunch sorted. Look at that. Beautiful. And I've made my way over to Big Easy Boulevard now then, and the Sunset Cinema, where for Fright Nights they have got a little short film based on it. Yeah, you can come and see Pennywise the Clown here at the Sunset Cinema every 30 minutes from 3 p.m. through until 8:30. You do have to be 15 years or older for this though, so you may actually be asked to show ID if you're lucky enough to look younger than that. Yeah, in terms of priority, this is kind of right at the bottom of my list, but if I do find that I've got the time to see it today, I will pop in and have a look. But yeah, 4D theatre's not really my thing. But like I say, if I do get the time, I will go in and have a look. Aside from that though, not too much in the way of theming here in Big Easy Boulevard. We'll come back and take a look, obviously, a little bit later on when it's darker. But the hearse is back. I think this looks absolutely great. Look at that. It's a great prop. You can sell all your cocktails in there. Hey, there she is. Great stuff. And after being closed for the past few days for maintenance, today sees the reopening of Nemesis Inferno, currently with a 60-minute wait, as she takes those interlocking corkscrews. Good to see this back open for Fright Nights. Hey. Great ride. And in terms of removals for Fright Nights this year then, as Nemesis takes that vertical loop And as alluded to in previous vlogs from here, Death's Doors has not made a return. This is where it used to be all around here. And I gotta say, as said before, I'm not surprised. The concept was great, but it just kind of fell apart a little bit when it got really busy. Last year, when I experienced it, I'd done the walkthrough twice, and both times it was just really congested. And the whole knocking on the doors twice and waiting for the actors to come out to scare you weren't really working. The actors were just kind of coming out and roaming around in amongst the crowd. So yeah, although the idea was great, it didn't really work in execution. So I'm not surprised to not see this return for 2024. And here we are then as we make our way into Fearless Valley and Hyperia, which opened back in May as the UK's tallest and fastest roller coaster manufactured by MagRise, but unfortunately it's not looking good for it at the moment. It has gone down, and sadly as well it's also running on reduced capacity. Yeah, just the one train. Due to a couple of days ago it actually valleyed again, and they've had to remove one of the trains from the circuit. So I'm expecting queue times tonight to be very, very high when the sun goes down and people try to get their night rides in on here, which is obviously part of Fright Nights for this year. As you can see, it is currently closed. They haven't evac'd the queue yet, but there are a lot of people leaving. They have just put an announcement. Oh, here we go.
Hyperia is currently experiencing a delay that cannot be resolved imminently and has ceased operation. Our team are doing their utmost.
There we are. So yeah, having a little bit of trouble today, which is a bit of a shame. What was also a bit of a shame is the stage still isn't back. I was hoping that this was going to be back for Fright Nights as part of some kind of, you know, Fright Nights themed show or something, but no, it's still not here. Hopefully they do bring it back, as this really doesn't look the best around here anymore. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one, and we'll also keep an eye on Hyperia as well. Luckily it hasn't valleyed again, but yeah, running just the one train with everyone trying to get their night rides on it later, it could be pretty chaotic. We'll see. But as we're here in Fearless Valley then, we may as well head on over to the newest scare maze for Fright Nights this year. It is of course Deadbeat. I have absolutely no idea what to expect from this one, just that it is set in kind of a nightclub themed atmosphere. Expecting lots of pumping music, flashing lights. Unfortunately, I can't take you into the mazes with me, but of course I'll give you my full thoughts when I come out. We usually score the mazes out of 5, and we look out for key things like acting quality, intensity, set design, all that kind of stuff. And here we are. Love the new signage, I gotta say. Getting pretty busy around here. I imagine most people are going to come to this one first. And of course it takes place in the old Black Mirror Labyrinth building. But yeah, I really do like that. The signage looks great. Deadbeat, there we are. You're looking forward to this. Clearly they didn't find the time to remove the slammer at the back there. That is still there. Maybe they'll remove that in the closed season. We'll see. Looking forward to this. Just 20 minutes until it opens. And here we go then into the brand new scare maze for 2024. It is Deadbeat. I tell you what, the music's been pumping outside. Oh, I get some good views of the slammer here as well. There he is, tucked away in the undergrowth. And here we go. Bit of a cattle pen queue. Oh, really looking forward to this. Like I say, I have absolutely no idea what to really expect from this one, apart from it being in a nightclub. Maybe it'll take me back to my Sanctuary days back in Milton Keynes. We'll see. Ah, pumping music though. Certainly reminds me of that rave style atmosphere. And here we go. And look at all these posters around here. This one sticks out with the final beach party here. Is that what we were speaking about over the past couple of Thorpe Park vlogs of the end of Amity Beach? That certainly seems to point that way. Sunday the 3rd of November. The final park set. Interesting. And I've just come out of Thorpe Park's newest scare maze for 2024, Deadbeat. And you know what? I went in there, like I say, really not knowing what to expect, apart from it being kind of a nightclub theme. And I've come out really impressed. That was great. You start by going into like a little pre-show where you're signed in by the receptionist, I guess, for want of a better word. And then you head into the building itself, where you kind of go in through the cloakroom area. You got all the coats hung up, the lockers in there, and you got all the actors kind of hiding in amongst them. Some good scares actually that I had right at the beginning of that maze, and it is just a fantastically well themed experience. You got the slot machines in there, kind of the stripper poles, all the lighting, and that pumping soundtrack throughout. And yeah, you know what, it really was just like being back at the Sanctuary, people throwing up, losing their minds, not knowing which way was up. Yeah, it was really good. You got some things hanging from the walls, and right towards the end there's a guy on a railing that kind of goes above everybody, which was a really nice effect. Yeah, really enjoy that. And then on the way out, you actually have all those posters around. There's some spray paint on the back of the Walking Dead building, and that poster that I just put in before I went into the maze itself, alluding to the final party of Amity Beach. So maybe Amity Beach is going to be getting taken out here and replaced with something brand new. Really impressed with Deadbeat though. I will try and get to go through that again a little bit later on today if we've got the time. A solid 4 out of 5 in my opinion. Yeah, really was good, and it's nice to see yet another original scare maze here at the resort. All 4 of the scare mazes here at the park are originals, and that's great to see. Speaking of scare mazes, behind me is the next one. It's trailers. Scare maze 2 of 4. Let's see if there's any changes that's been made for this year. And here we go then for its 4th year in the park. It's time to re-enter the Super Spark Cinema. Looking forward to checking out the changes in here. Giving my full thoughts when I come out. And I've just come out of trailers then, maze 2 of 4 here at Fright Nights 2024. And you know what, as much as there's not really been very many changes in there at all compared to last year, I do have a soft spot for trailers. I think it's absolutely brilliant. There's some good set design in there, some good costumes for the actors, the lighting and the audio is on point in there. And as much as there's not any new scenes, it's good to see some throwbacks in there for past attractions here at the resort that I picked up on. You got Platform 15 in there, Breakout at Bozo's, kind of a little bit of a section of that there, which obviously was sadly missing from this year with the absence of Carnival. And you've got the Buckwheats in there as well, which is great to see. It's a nice lengthy walk through that, some good scares to be had, and yeah, I do still really like it. I do feel like it is a little bit stale though. Hopefully next year, if it is going to be here for its 5th year, some of those scenes are more radically changed. Either that or it's replaced with something completely new. We'll see come next year on that one, but as it stands here at 2024, it's still a solid scare maze and a 4 out of 5 from me here. As a matter of fact, it was my favourite scare maze here at the park before the introduction of Stitches. Speaking of which, that's where we are now. Cannot wait to get back into this absolutely incredibly themed and immersive scare maze that was my favourite last year. And here we are then for the 2nd time in as many years. It's time to enter Howl's Toy Emporium. Cannot wait to get stuffed. And I have just come out of maze 3 of 4 then, Stitches. The 2nd time in 2 years that I've done that maze. And look, I said it last year, that is not only the best scare maze on park this year, it was last year, it's the best maze that Thorpe Park have ever done. It is just absolutely incredible. And from looking at it outside, it's just this little marquee with a scrim on the front and this very unassuming facade. But inside, the detailing is just extraordinary. It really is great. From the moment you step into the toy shop and you're told by kind of the guy behind the counter that, you know, you're going to be made toys out of, and his grandma making all the toys and all that kind of stuff. The props in there is just amazing. There's so much to look at. The detailing is off the scale. And then the maze itself is just phenomenal. It really is. The acting quality in there is absolutely superb. And there's some really creepy scenes. And you know what? Again, that Symbol Monkey, oh, he got me again. It was a weird thing actually, that we was actually wandering around there and it got very congested. People were losing their way, they didn't know where to go. It was just every time we went through one of the curtains, it was just a wall, a dead end. I managed to find my way out while everyone else remained stuck, and I was kind of done the second half of that maze completely on my own, which really made it actually. I got some real big scares, and yeah, absolutely brilliant. The strobe lighting in there, which really just kind of disorientates you like crazy. You got the cymbal monkey in there, a guy on a bungee cord as well, and I got hit with every single one of those on my own. And that's the only downfall with obviously the mazes these days. They're so much better if you can get in them on your own. If you can manage to kind of hang back behind the group that you're in so that you're, you know, let them go forward a little bit, you stay behind. That kind of works. But yeah, if you get lucky like I did just then and you're fully on your own, the scares are through the roof. Absolutely fantastic. There's some crawl scenes in there where you're crawling under all these bears. You go through all the different rooms, like the stuffing room, the sewing room, and then right at the end, when you're hit with that strobe and you've got all those mannequins there, oh, it really is creepy. It's a fantastic scare maze. By far the best here at the park. It's a 5 out of 5. As I said last year, a 6 out of 5 if I could give it. Would love to do that again if the queue shortens a little bit later. Absolutely phenomenal scare maze. And from Stitches then, down to Swarm Island, where it's time to experience Maze 4 of 4. It is, of course, survival games. Let's join the queue and see if there's any changes for this for 2024. Oh, and it is all kicking off in the 4th and final scare maze here today. It's survival games. You got the chainsaw guy in the back chasing people out. People are almost having heart attacks coming out of there. Look, it is by far and away the most intense maze that they've got here. Features flashing lights, lots of loud noises. The actors are really intense and on top form, getting right in your face, full on shouting. At one point in there I was asked to put my hands up against the wall and he wouldn't let me move. You're pushed, you're pulled, you're grabbed. At the start of the maze, you're separated from your group into cages. You watch like an electrocution scene of some poor woman in there getting electrocuted. You're then hauled out backwards and the maze begins. And yeah, it is really full on. However, I will say that it is the weakest of the 4. Now, last year, I gave this 4 out of 5. I think this year, with that step up of mazes like Deadbeat and like Stitches and even Trailers, this being the weakest of the 3, I think it would be unfair to give it more than a 3 out of 5. However, intensity, oh, it's absolutely off the scale. Really, really good maze. Again, the same thing as last year, though. There is that kind of repetition at the end. Not to do with the maze itself, but it's the actors inside. They will kind of push you into places that you've already been. Now, if that only happens once, it's kind of a minor annoyance. If it happens more than once, it can get a little bit frustrating to find your way out of that maze at the end of it. So yeah, again, that's the only bad thing, but that's been the case for the past 3 years. However, it is still a really strong maze. I do still enjoy it. Next year, though, if it is still here, I'd like to see some more theming added and maybe a little bit of a refurb as well. That's if it's not replaced with something brand new entirely. Still enjoyed my time in there, though. And there she goes, the B&M Wing Coaster from 2012. The Swarm currently on a 35-minute wait. As we are just about to leave Swarm Island, that is obviously 4 of the 4 scare mazes done, and to be honest, I think I've actually done quite well. All 4 mazes done in just under 3 hours, and as you can see, it's still actually quite light out. So yeah, all I'm going to do now is head down and get some food. We'll wait until it gets completely dark, and then of course we'll absorb the atmosphere of all the lighting around the park, the shows, and of course those scare zones, which I can actually film inside. Yeah, it's a shame I can't take you in on the mazes, but yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately. Sadly, I have just missed the roaming actors. I did see the crows out earlier today. They're supposed to be wandering around the park between 3 and 4:30 p.m. It is worth noting, if you do come down to Fright Nights, you can actually grab yourself a no scare lanyard if you don't want to be scared in the scare zones or when the roaming actors are around. So that is worth thinking about. Will cost you £5, but you can pick that up at guest services. And as long as that's nice and visible, the scare actors won't bother you. I would like to see more theming around though, and I said this last year here at Thorpe Park. It just seems like there's lots of areas for kind of, you know, lots of smoke effects and extra lighting. I'll hold full judgment until it gets really dark, because I might be, you know, it might be nice and surprised. But from what I've seen around the park, there's really not that much of it. And that was the same as last year. I was kind of hoping that, you know, with their new area, Big Easy Boulevard just down there, that they could have maybe have taken advantage of that and really added, you know, maybe even made a scare zone out of it. I think it would have been great. But same like these pathways down here as well, there's really not much to see, and I'm assuming that there's not going to be any kind of, you know, smoke effects going on down here. But yeah, it'd be nice to see some props around and things like that, you know. Maybe I've just been spoiled, obviously, from, you know, the European and American scare fests and Halloween nights and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, sometimes it just feels a little bit barren. There's lots they could do here. But at least the scare mazes are absolutely awesome. In terms of downtime today, yeah, Storm Surge has not been open. Hyperia has seen a lot of downtime. As a matter of fact, I think it might still be down. Saw the Ride has seen downtime as well, so it's not been the best in terms of operations today, which is a shame. But yeah, coming up, we'll be putting in some highlights of those shows. And of course, the scare zones, Lucifer's Lair, Creature Campus. Those two both double as a scare zone, as well as the shows, and the Crows of Maulin Meadow. Rush currently on a 10-minute wait there. And look at the queue for Stitches. Wow, it's completely empty now. That's crazy. That might even be worth getting on that again. I absolutely love Stitches. Best maze in the park. And you know what, when I was here just a couple of weeks ago for Oktoberfest, I said that the bratwurst that can be found here at the Grill Tower was one of the best that I had ever had. So for £9, I think for lunch, this is where I'm going to get mine from. Oh, look at them all piled up in there. Absolutely glorious. That'll do nicely. Oh, and here we go then for £10.50, a bratwurst with cheese. Kept it dry, no sauces again, just so I don't make an absolute mess of myself as I usually do. I'm going to get this down my throat then, and then we'll of course be heading over into Lucifer's Lair and checking out some of the theming and the shows in that area. Oh, and listen to that atmospheric audio here. And look at this lighting. It's always something that Thorpe Park does exceptionally well for Fright Nights. As the sun dips down below the horizon, it's still a little bit light, but it's looking absolutely awesome. Tidal wave there on a 5-minute wait, stealth all lit up purple in the background. You got all the green lighting over Amity here, and that music, it looks absolutely fantastic. And I gotta say, that bratwurst was also pretty fantastic as well. Really, really nice. Just how I remembered it back for Oktoberfest. As I make my way now into Big Easy Boulevard, and here we go. Let's just have a look and see what this is like for Fright Nights. As we said, this event is actually sponsored by Fanta. And they've got a little, I don't know what that is just off to the right here. Is it a meet and greet or some kind of photo shoot or something in there? Fright Night Fate. Want a Fanta? So does Madam Phantom, apparently. Yeah, I think it's just a little photo opportunity in there. Not quite sure, to be honest. Not much of a queue for it, whatever it is. Might check that out a little bit later. They've also got this absolutely awesome globe just back here as well. That looks really cool. Look at that. That's a nice piece, that. The big Fanta logo on there. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, it does actually look really nice. And I figured while I'm here, I would head on into Sunset Cinema just to catch a showing of It. Doors have just opened. I figured I'd go and say hi to Pennywise the Clown. But see, this is what I was talking about a little bit earlier. You've got some nice lighting around here, but it just feels very barren for Fright Nights around here. You know, it'd be nice to have some lighting over here, you know, some scare actors wandering around, some smoke effects would be really nice. But yeah, there's just not much going on, which, you know, for a brand new area of the park, it's a little bit disappointing. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more going on here, to be honest. But here we are, Sunset Cinema. Oh, I can already see the balloons in there. Yeah, let's catch a showing of this, why not? And I've just come out of the Sunset Cinema then from watching It Chapter 1. And yeah, you know, it's okay, about a 20-minute show, and it's what you'd expect really. You got the leg ticklers in there, the seat movements, the water effects, the smoke effects. It's not too bad. As I've said before, 4D theaters aren't really my thing, but I will say though that I do feel like it works better with horror. I feel like I enjoyed it a lot more than Ready Player One, which is what usually shows in there. Some of the air cannon effects were a little bit unnecessary, but the seat movements though, when you're waiting for that jump scare and all of a sudden the seat falls back, that does actually work quite well. Yeah, not too bad on the whole, but I certainly wouldn't prioritize it over some of the things that they've got here for Fright Nights at the park. Speaking of which, we're going to head over to Amity Speedway now and catch the next showing of Creature Campus Looks Can Kill. This was fantastic last year. It's slightly new showing this time. There's no more kind of high school theme to it. It's all about Medusa and her gorgons. So yeah, looking forward to checking this out and seeing what's changed from last year. And as you can see here then, the show times for Creature Campus Looks Can Kill: 3, 5:30, 6:30, 7:30 and 8:30, and in between the shows it actually doubles as a scare zone. Meet the creatures, and then you can see the times just down there. And I gotta say, this looks absolutely fantastic. Look at the new set design that they have here for Creature Campus. Yeah, gone are those bleachers and the school bus, and in its place this pretty awesome set here. Look at this. Oh, it looks great, all lit up with all the lighting there. Really can't wait for this show. Highlights coming up.
This campus belongs to us. To take one of our own. Before you play dirty, you should know when we aim our venom, we never miss. Let's turn up the chaos and open your eyes to the rising of this raving rebellion. Gangster with a bad that came from Sri Lanka. Yeah, I'm in the tanga, color up with a younger. Give me a slump, I can roll teeth and fame. Cause that's what a motherfucking monster do. Yeah, dressed up from Milan as a monster. There's only room for one of us at this campus. Oh, you want a rule? Sorry, you're not my vibe. Why don't you show us all a magic trick and disappear from our campus? And now you're going to die. It saddens me that we have had to come to this. This college needs our coven, so I'm afraid you won't be missed. From the power of the moon, I will protect our land. Come forth, my dear coven, let our dark magic command.
some highlights there then of Creature Campus Looks Can Kill, and that was an absolutely spectacular show. So much better than last year, which was already phenomenal. I really did like that. Great song selection, and the dancers and the costumes in there were absolutely brilliant. Love the new set design, and like I say, there's no kind of high school theme anymore. It's all been replaced with Medusa and her Gorgons, much more of a darker feel. Hey! And there goes Stealth behind me. Look at it, how glorious does it look in that purple lighting. Absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, getting sidetracked there. What an absolutely brilliant showing it was. Like I say, good song selection, really making use of that new set design. It's got the little balcony that comes out of the top, and you've got the pole down the side as well that they were sliding down. Good usage of props as well, like the brooms. I don't know if you caught that, but yeah, they actually, it's kind of the same kind of thing where you put the brooms in the floor, scratch them along, and it causes the sparks. You see a lot of that in kind of like the Disney parks and things like that. That was a really cool effect. The dancers were coming out into the crowd, dancing in amongst everybody. It really was absolutely phenomenal. And like I say, a bit of a darker theme than obviously the high school Lycanthrope style that it was last year, but I really enjoyed it. Absolutely phenomenal show. I'm going to head over now to Lucifer's Lair, catch the fire show. That's going to have to go some to beat that one. Really enjoyed that. That was a 5 out of 5. Solid show. And here we go then, about to enter the second scare zone. It is Lucifer's Lair. And look how awesome this looks with all the braziers. Stage on the left here this time. Slight difference to last year. That's actually where all the throne used to be before.
You suck too! You told him to get the money. Why?
And there's Lucifer.
Why did you ask him to get the money?
Oh, look at this around here with the lighting. All these flame effects.
Are you not embarrassed to be
Oh,
seen
it looks
with that?
absolutely great. It has been slightly reduced, I feel, because they have the stage here. They don't have the throne, which used to be in that area. So now back here, there's not really anything to see. And it does feel like it could be a little bit smaller as well. It basically comes to an end just here. But it looks fantastic. We got some highlights of the fire show coming up. And you got scare actors in here as well. There's quite a few of them in here. Love these. These look absolutely great. They really set the area off. Really looking forward to this show.
It's spider leather!
Hey, there he
I
is.
like it!
Look at him.
She likes it! Everyone likes it!
I feel like he's going to eat me.
Like a spider leather. I don't really want to talk about it. Go again, Rob. One more!
Absolutely love it. This area was amazing last year, and it's great again this year as well. Love all the costumes around. Absolutely fantastic. All right, some highlights coming up then of the fire show at 8 o'clock.
Evil minds and plot destruction.
Welcome to the dark. What I done?
just some highlights there then of the absolutely awesome fire show over at Lucifer's Lair. And look, what can I say? The shows here at Thorpe Park for Fright Nights are absolutely spectacular, and that one was no exception. What an absolutely phenomenal show with the fire effects there, that song selection, all the dancers, the costumes, absolutely brilliant, and all set within Lucifer's Lair itself, which is absolutely brilliant. All the braziers around, the atmosphere in that area is absolutely off the scale, with all the scare actors around there as well. And it's not just the fire show that takes place on that stage. There's a dance show as well, a live band. Unfortunately, I'm running a little bit short on time now. Still have to get my night ride on Hyperia, and I mean, look at it against that night sky. It just looks absolutely phenomenal, doesn't it? Have to get on there. It is back open with a 125-minute queue time currently, so I'm going to join the single rider queue. Hopefully I can get on, get myself a night ride before the night is over. But of course, right now, I have to head to the Crows of Maulin Meadow. Never miss out on this scare zone because it's absolutely fantastic. Oh, and the music is belting out over at Saw the Ride, and how great does it look with this lighting? Oh, it just kind of disappears into the night there. And right opposite Saw the Ride, back for another year, you've got the Crows of Maulin Meadow, my favourite scare zone. As good as Lucifer's Lair and Creature Campus is, this is absolutely brilliant, the Creepy Crows. And I missed them earlier in the park today. They do wander around between the hours of 3 and 4:30, if you're lucky enough to see them. But this is their home, where they reside. And last year it was absolutely fantastic as well. It was actually expanded. It was made a lot bigger last year. So we'll see if there's any changes this year. All the hay bales around, the pumpkins. Already seeing quite a few new buildings there. And looks like I'm being held here. Yeah, look at that in the background. All this is new. Oh, I can't wait. All the festoon lighting around here. It's one of the most atmospheric scare mazes that you'll find in a park this, with all the corn and the lighting effects and the crows themselves. And the smoke from this zone, depending on which way the wind's blowing, either goes over Colossus or over the lake. The atmosphere is absolutely brilliant. Can't wait to get back in. And here we go then. The Crows of Maulin Meadow. Oh, it's so great to be back. All the pumpkins and the hay and this new setup here. Oh, I'm not sure what's wrong with him. It's half turn. Oh. Oh, wow. That was a piercing scream. All the corn around as we go into this new building. Here he is. Oh, the Creepy Crows. Yeah. Where are we going? Are we going that way or are we going this way? Let's go in here. Oh, look at this. Oh, all the pig carcasses hanging. Oh, oh. Oh, it's so atmospheric. Oh, all the lighting effects in here. Oh. I'm being followed. Oh, it just looks incredible. Look at him. Oh. Oh, it really is amazing. The atmosphere is just great. And even the camera won't do this justice. You really do need to experience this. All the smoke effects here. Look at him. Oh, the crosses are back here. Oh, look at this. With Colossus in the background as well. Oh, the smells. Oh. Oh. the crows go, nobody knows. Oh, the smells around here are great. Well, these hay bales. Is he a real one? I'm not too sure. You never know in this place. Just the atmosphere of this zone is just great. I love it. All the smoke effects at the back here. And these barrels are back at the end. Hey, look at that. It's a really nice effect, that. I really do like it. And there's the last crow. Oh. Wow, I was not expecting that. Oh, it's such an immersive area, and what a great shot that is as well. Just looking back through Maulin Meadow with Hyperia in the background. Absolutely exceptional. Such a great scare zone. Some highlights there then of the Crows of Maulin Meadow, and look, I absolutely love that scare zone. In my opinion, it's the best one here at the park, and it has been for several years now. It's just so immersive and atmospheric, all the smoke effects, the lighting, it's just great. The actors in there playing the crows are really, really creepy. The fact that they don't talk, they just kind of click at you, and they've got all the creepy head movements and stuff, you know. It's brilliant. Good to see the new set pieces in there as well. That new building with the pig carcasses hanging down, that was a nice touch. The layout, everything about that scare zone is just done to such a high standard. It is phenomenal, and I always make sure never to miss it when I come down to Fright Nights. Make sure you don't miss it. It is absolutely fantastic. To end the night though, we're going to try and get on a night ride here on Hyperia. Current queue times 140 minutes. It's going to be a long wait. I'm going to join the single rider queue. Let's head on and we'll see how we get on. And it's time to place your bets then on just how long I'm going to be waiting for this night ride on Hyperia. Current queue times 140 minutes. Reduced capacity, running just the one train. How long am I going to wait for single rider? Let's start the clock. Some people have been waiting almost 3 hours tonight for their ride on Hyperia. Single rider queue waited just 80 minutes, not too bad at all for a row 9 ride. Let's get on. And what a way to wrap up Fright Nights 2024 here at the Thorpe Park Resort than with an absolutely phenomenal night ride on Hyperia. 80-minute wait in the single rider queue for a row 9 ride, and you know what, it's such an epic coaster, that absolutely phenomenal, and riding it at night just makes it all the more sublime. I absolutely love that coaster to bits. It really is incredible. In terms of Fright Nights though, as a whole, you know what, I didn't think anything could have beaten last year. This year, they have gone and done it. Deadbeat, an absolutely fantastic new addition. Really enjoyed that. Some great pumping soundtracks through there, some great scenes and set pieces, and some great acting quality as well. Bear in mind though, there are people going around there kind of throwing up, or at least pretending to throw up. So if that kind of triggers you in any way, that might not be the maze for you. But I think it was an absolutely brilliant addition. Loved the soundtrack. The highlight of the show in terms of the mazes though is still Stitches, in my opinion. I think that maze is absolutely fantastic. I had a second run of it earlier on today, and just the set design in there and the immersion and just everything about that maze. There's so much detailing in there. I can't believe that it is just effectively in a tent. It's incredible. It's so well done. You're so fully immersed. It's incredible. And yeah, like I said, 5 out of 5 easily. And in my opinion, still the best maze here at the park. Trailers, yeah, still strong. Wasn't expecting it to be as good because I do think that in some places it is feeling a bit stale. Did like to see the throwbacks in there though. And I do still think it's a strong maze, but I would like to see some major changes going into its 5th year next year. Like I say, the weakest of the 4 mazes has been survival games. I still think it's good. I do enjoy it. I like a bit of intensity to my scare mazes. I do quite like the fact that they get in your face shouting and pulling and pushing you and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, in terms of theming and kind of the story as well, really, I'm not really too sure what's going on there. It's very minimal and the story is a little bit confusing, but it is by far the most intense maze. But yeah, Stitches still wins it for me. The shows here are absolutely phenomenal. Nothing more can be said about that. Creature Campus, Looks Can Kill, and the shows in Lucifer's Lair, absolutely off the scale. They are brilliant and well worth watching. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see all the shows on Lucifer's Lair. I did see the fire show, which obviously we had highlights of, and I did catch the live band. Haven't seen the other shows there yet, but it's just the whole setting in that area is just what really makes it. In terms of the scare zones, again, absolutely brilliant. Creature Campus doubles as a scare zone when the shows aren't running. Same for Lucifer's Lair. And then, of course, you've got the Crows of Maulin Meadow. And what more can be said about that? Such an atmospheric, immersive scare zone. Great to see the changes in there this year with the new building and the pig carcasses. And the crows themselves are just so creepy. It's been an absolutely brilliant night here at Fright Nights. It's one of the best Halloween events in the UK, in my opinion, and this year was absolutely no exception. I thought I'd come and wrap the vlog up here, actually, just outside the Thorpe Park cabins, because look at him. He looks great. All the kind of spooky scenery around here, all the red lighting. I think it looks absolutely brilliant. Even the shark cabins, nicely themed for Fright Nights. But in terms of the next vlog coming up right here on Adventure Planet, the spooks continue, but in a park that I have never visited before. We are heading out to Spain, more accurately Madrid, and Parker Warner for their Halloween Scary Nights. Really looking forward to that. Like I say, it's a park I've never done before, so really looking forward to kind of checking it out for the first time and getting on Batman Gotham City Escape. Cannot wait for that. And also, while we're in Spain, it would be remiss to not head on over to Portaventura. So we got a 2-day vlog coming up from there, as well as Ferrari Land, getting back on some of my absolute favorites in that park, and also checking out their Halloween celebrations as well. That's coming up next right here on Adventure Planet. But from here, the Thorpe Park Resort and the absolutely incredible Fright Nights 2024, I want to thank you so much for watching. And as always, happy riding everybody, and I shall see you in Spain.